The cutest night ferry, magical evening illuminations, new rules for riding bikes in Japan, and finally a Suica app for some Android users. I'm Amy from Cakes with Faces. I'm the author of a Japan guidebook and I make Japan travel videos. Japan Travel News is about all the new things that are opening in Japan and what's coming up over the next few months. And not everything in this video is in May. Lots of things are coming up throughout the year and even next year. So if you have a Japan trip booked, it's worth following along with Japan Travel News, which is at the start of every month. First is attraction news. Now this is something that really should have been in last month. The Edo-Tokyo Museum is now reopened after a 4-year-long renovation. It has dioramas and life-size reconstructions of buildings and scenes from the Edo period, which is roughly the 1600s to the 1800s, up to the present day. So you can see what life in Tokyo was like back then. It's in Ryogoku, which is Tokyo's sumo wrestling area. It's just a short walk away from the Hokusai Museum, so you could pair them both together. Both of them are closed on Mondays. Remember to check the opening hours of anything particularly you want to see, because they might not be what you expect. Next, a Pokemon themed footbath is opening this month on the 12th of May. It's in Ishikawa Prefecture in Noto City, which is on the Noto Peninsula, which is where the earthquake was in 2024. It's always good to support these areas that have been through tough times. And if you're staying in Kanazawa, this could make a good side trip. Like most footbaths, it's free to use. You can enjoy a moment of relaxation in the natural hot spring water surrounded by Pokemon. That region already has a Pokemon themed train and they're installing 6 new Pokemon manhole covers in the area. Over in Tokyo, there's a new boat trip. It's called the Nihonbashi E-Liner and it's fully electric. It takes you along the river from Nihonbashi Pier, which is just a short walk from Tokyo Station, to Toyosu Pier, which is near Team Lab Planets and Toyosu Market, where there's a lovely free rooftop footbath. It doesn't have any Pokemon, but it does have a great view of Tokyo Bay. The journey takes about 25 minutes, which is quicker than the train. The train doesn't really have a good direct route. And it's always fun to go on a boat, especially when you're on holiday. The introductory fare is only 900 yen until the end of May. If you want to go, I would recommend booking it in advance, because last time I was in Tokyo, I wanted to go on a boat trip, a different one, but every time I tried to book, it was fully booked up. So you can't always rely on being able to do these things spur of the moment. Next is serious travel news, and I've got big news for Android users. Previously, mobile Suica was only for iPhones. You add it to your Apple Wallet, then you can use your phone to pay for trains at the ticket gates instead of getting a physical Suica card. The big benefit is being able to top up using Apple Pay, whereas most top-up machines for physical cards only take cash. But soon, if you have a Samsung Galaxy phone, you can get Welcome Suica Mobile. That's going to start in the first half of 2027. You'll be able to download the Welcome Suica app, which is the temporary one designed for tourists. The physical card lasts for 28 days and the app version lasts for 180 days. And if you have that, you can top up using Samsung Pay. Android phones have always had the technology, Suica just didn't have the license to be able to use it. And in the future, they want to develop it even further with touchless payments, so you just walk on through the ticket gates without even scanning anything. Unfortunately, if like me you have an Android phone that isn't Samsung, you do still need a physical card, but I don't mind because I can still use my cute pass holder. Also on the subject of IC cards, there's a new Pasmo card for tourists. Pasmo is just like Suica. It's a card that you top up with credit to pay for local trains and the metro. They're basically just the same. It's a bit like credit cards from different companies. There used to be Pasmo Passport, which was the temporary version for tourists. That one has Hello Kitty on it and it was really cute, but then it was discontinued. That's now been replaced by Tourist Pasmo, which is basically the same as Welcome Suica. It lasts for 28 days. I won't go into all the details here. Basically, it doesn't really matter whether you get Suica or Pasmo. They're basically the same. I'm guessing most people with an iPhone would want to get mobile Suica these days because it's more convenient. If you're confused by this, my Japan guidebook has a whole section about trains and transport, explaining what works with what and how to buy tickets, both in Tokyo and around Japan. It includes all the things people ask me every day in messages and comments. If you want to get my book, there's a link in the description, and I ship worldwide. Next, if you're renting a bike in Japan, there are some new rules that you need to know about. There are now blue tickets for minor violations that apply to everyone over 16. If you get a blue ticket, you have to pay a fine, which is between 3,000 and 12,000 yen, depending what it is. And if you leave Japan without paying the fine, you could be denied entry next time. Some of the things you can get fined for include using a phone while you're cycling, holding an umbrella, wearing headphones, running a red light, obstructing a pedestrian crossing, cycling side by side, or not having lights on at night. Next, in many countries around the world, it's common to throw coins into a pond or a fountain for good luck or to make a wish. In Japanese culture, that's not really a thing, but some foreign tourists do it anyway. The problem is, if there are koi carp in the water, it can be harmful to them. This was in the news recently with a beautiful spot near Mount Fuji where the pond is fed by meltwater, so it has a very specific pH and conditions for its ecosystem. When people throw coins in the water, it messes that up and it can be poisonous to the fish. So when you're in Japan, try and resist the urge to throw coins into water. Instead, go to a shrine, and if you go to the main building, there'll be a wooden box with bars across the top, and that's designed for throwing coins into, and you can make a wish or a prayer there instead. Next is hotel news. There's a new hotel in Tokyo with fantastic views of the trains. It's called Hotel Metropolitan Oimachi Tracks, and it's in a new complex at Oimachi Station. Now, it's not a location I'd particularly choose. It's one stop away from the Yamanote line and it is quite far south, but it's not terrible. Maybe it's worth it for the view of the trains at the depot, and it has a rooftop bar with a view of Tokyo. Pretty nice. If you like Japanese trains, check out my video about the Marunouchi Hotel, which has a great view of Tokyo Station. There's a new themed hotel room for the Enoshima Electric Railway, the Enoden, which has become really popular because it's featured in anime. It's a train line that runs along the coast between Enoshima and Kamakura, which is a really good day trip from Tokyo. I will have a newer video coming up about it at some point. The themed rooms at the Kamakura Prince Hotel with views of the train and the sea. You get train driver uniforms. I like these train-shaped cushions, and one person per day gets this special train cake. That's available until the 7th of July. And there's a Shinkansen themed room in Osaka at Via in Shin Osaka West. It's themed around the 500 series Shinkansen that retires next year. There's 2 rooms, the corridors theme too. They have seats and tables from actual trains, as well as reproductions of stickers, posters and brochures from the past, and fake windows as if you're inside a train. Now, it feels like we've had so much Pokemon stuff on Japan news recently. They really are going all out for Pokemon's 30th anniversary. And now there are new Pokemon themed hotel rooms at the Grand Hyatt Tokyo in Roppongi. Just look at all these Pikachus. This one is the suite. The bathroom has water Pokemon, and there are 8 standard rooms that look slightly more normal. And you can get Pokemon themed room service. Next is penguin news. Now, I know lots of you are as sad as I am about the Suica penguins' retirements. They've just launched a new website called Penguin Years to announce all the events and what's going on to celebrate their retirement. The homepage tantalises you with pictures of merch from the past that's no longer available, like this Suica penguin fridge and a toaster that burns a penguin face on your toast. How amazing is that? There's not a great deal on it yet, but it's a place to check for what's on during your trip. Next is train news. We're actually going to start with ferry news. The Sunflower Ferry is teaming up with cute character Chiikawa to make the most kawaii ferry in Japan. That's from the 6th of August to the end of October. A night ferry is a relaxing way to travel around Japan. I took a ferry from Kitakyushu to Osaka, which saved time by travelling overnight, and it cost less than a Shinkansen and a hotel room. It felt like a mini cruise. I've got a video about it. The Sunflower Ferry isn't the one I took, but it's very similar. The one I took didn't have Chiikawa, although it did have this adorable mascot called Funeko. The collabs on the Sunflower Ferry route between Shibushi at the bottom of Kyushu near Kagoshima to Osaka, and the route from Oarai in Ibaraki Prefecture to Tomakomai in Hokkaido. They haven't announced yet exactly what the collab involves, but I'm sure it'll be really cute. Now, we're seeing a growing trend in Japan towards tap to pay. More and more train lines are starting to accept credit and debit card payments at the ticket gates, which is easier for foreign tourists instead of having to buy a ticket. The latest is the streetcar in Sapporo in Hokkaido. When you get on, you can just tap your card to pay, and at weekends and public holidays there's a spending cap, so if you take 2 rides, the rest that day are free. In the winter, look out for a special streetcar that's decorated with snow miku. You can still use an IC card if you want to. In Hokkaido there's Kitaka. I wish I'd got one because it has a cute flying squirrel on it. Next, there's a new fancy tram in Tokyo on the Toden Arakawa line, also known as the Sakura Tram. It runs through the northern part of Tokyo near Ikebukuro and through Sugamo, which is known as Grandma's Harajuku. I have a video about it. It's a really chilled place. The new tram's very stylish with decorative woodwork inside. If you want to go on it, it could be tricky because the trams are very frequent and there are lots of different types, but it does look very fancy. Each ride's only 170 yen, or you can get a day pass for 400 yen, so a tour of the tram line could be a good thing to do, exploring off the beaten track areas of Tokyo. Now, I know we were all very sad when Dr. Yellow retired last year. It's a special Shinkansen that's used to check the tracks. There's just one left in service until that retires next year. But there'll be a new Shinkansen running from October on the Tokaido line between Tokyo and Kyoto and Osaka called Dr. S. It's a combination of Dr. Yellow and regular Shinkansen trains, so it'll carry passengers as well as checking the tracks. And some parts from the retired Dr. Yellow have been recycled into this new train. It doesn't seem quite as exciting as a lucky yellow Shinkansen, but it's something new to look out for. See if you can spot it at the station from October. Next is events. There's an Alice in Wonderland theme event at a flower park in Chiba Prefecture. It's at Keisei Rose Garden until the 14th of June, which is when the flowers are looking their best. Of course, there's a Queen of Hearts painting the roses red theme. There's parades and small rides, and if you find an invitation hidden in the garden, you get to have a private tea party on this little castle treehouse. There's a magical event in Kumamoto called Kaguya's Shining Garden until the end of May. It's on the rooftop of Sakura Machi shopping mall. It looks gorgeous with 400 bamboo lanterns and 150 glowing ornaments in displays to enjoy after dark. If you're going to Kumamoto, have a look in my Kyushu playlist for tips and ideas for things to do. There's also an illumination event in Tokyo called Kyu-Shiba-Rikyu Garden Night Party at Kyu-Shiba-Rikyu Gardens, which is near Hamarikyu Gardens in the Shiodome area. It's only on from the 20th to the 23rd of May with projection mapping, lights and music. Now, if you're in Japan in July or August, a major summer festival is Tanabata. It's celebrated with colourful streamers and trees to write your wishes on that I drew for my calendar once. This year there'll be Sky Lantern festivals for Tanabata in Saitama in July and on the southern edge of Kyoto in August. You write your wish on a strip of paper and release it into the sky on a lantern. You do need tickets, so check that out because these things can sell out quickly. I always feel conflicted about these Sky Lantern events because they're so beautiful, but they're not great for the environment. These do at least have LED lanterns, so they're not going to start fires. There's an anime-themed cruise near Mount Fuji until the end of this month. It's on Lake Ashi and it's themed like the anime Oshi no Ko. They should have called it Ashi no Ko. One of the characters is dressed up like the captain of a pirate ship to match the pirate ships on Lake Ashi. There's decorations on board and you get a special keyring. Next, karaoke chain Maneki Neko has a collab with Pokémon until the 14th of June. There's a themed food menu, you get a special card for each item you order, and there's a singing campaign, which is a list of songs. If you're one of the top 100 customers that sings these songs the most times, you get a Pokémon mug. It might not be the best use of time on your Japan trip, or maybe it is. Now, if you like Final Fantasy, look out for special decorations at several stations in Tokyo this June. It's called Fukushima Fantasy to promote tourism to Fukushima. There's also a stamp rally in Fukushima and statues of chocobos at several stations there until the end of June. Now, Tokyo Tower has a particularly cute collab at the moment with San X characters, including Sumiko Garashi, Rilakuma and Afro Ken. You can spot characters around the tower in a treasure hunt, which includes the outdoor staircase that you can take instead of the lift. There's a pop-up shop and a food truck outside until the 25th of June. Next is plane news. There'll be a Disney plane running on domestic routes within Japan from Japan Airlines from the 4th of June. It's called the Jubilee Express to celebrate the 25th anniversary of Tokyo Disney Sea. They'll also be theming inside the plane on the headrests and the cups, and if you fly on it, you get a special boarding sticker. Next is shop news. Hamtaro is getting their first official shop, which seems strange because they were designed back in 1997. So if you feel like time's passing and your career's going nowhere, remember it even took Hamtaro 29 years to get a shop. It's called Totoko Hamtown Shop in Tokyo in Yoyogi. I definitely want to live in Hamtown. It's designed like a cute hideaway from the world with merch, sweets and plushies. For some reason it's on a very quiet residential street. Now, I could not find this on Google Maps, but there is a map on the official website, so if you can't find it, just ask in the comments and I'll give you the link. Now, the first official Sega shop opened last year in Shibuya, and from the 21st to 28th of May, there'll also be a pop-up shop in Miyashita Park, also in Shibuya. It celebrates Sega's 65th anniversary. There'll be merch from Sonic, of course, as well as older games like Space Channel 5 and retro consoles like Dreamcast, Saturn and Mega Drive. Now, if you've been to Japan, I'm sure you've wandered through Don Quihote at some point, probably when you were jet lagged. It's a store that sells basically everything. Strange gadgets, costumes, cosmetics, and it's actually pretty good for Sanrio merch. Well, now the company's branching out and they've decided to start opening supermarkets. The first one's called Robin Hood and it's on the edge of Nagoya. 60% of it is food and the rest is cosmetics and day-to-day life stuff. If it's anything like Don Quihote, I can't wait to see what they have. The focus is on cheap, pre-prepared food and they're going to have 30 flavours of rice balls. And we will be seeing more of them. They're planning to open 300 Robin Hood stores by 2035. Next, Square Enix is opening a shop and cafe in Shinjuku in Tokyo. It'll be a permanent version of the pop-up shop they already have there. There's no opening date announced apart from spring 2026, so it can't be too far away. They're also opening one in Los Angeles. And if you want to know what temporary pop-up cafes are on in Japan, I've got a list on my blog on cakeswithfaces.co.uk. Next, there's a new Piyorin shop coming to Nagoya. Piyorin is a cute chick that's a kind of mascot of Nagoya. You can get Piyorin cakes there that are really popular. The new shop's called Piyorin Village and it also has a cafe. It'll be inside Nagoya Station and that opens on the 15th of June. It's all yellow and the menu looks really cute. There can be long queues at the Piyorin cake shop in Nagoya, so I'm sure it's going to be really popular. If you're in Nagoya this summer, you might remember previously on Japan News, there'll be a giant Piyorin by the canal, so go along and say konnichiwa or piyo piyo. That's what chicks say in Japanese. Next is food and restaurants. There's a new cafe in Shibuya run by senior citizens. It's called Ji-cha and Ba-cha after Ji-chan and Ba-chan, which means grandpa and grandma. The staff are in their 70s and they have some rules. They work sitting down, they take breaks whenever they want to, and they work because they enjoy it. It certainly looks like they're having fun. The cafe is all about community, run with a personal touch. It's all about redefining what it is to get older. Next, Gusto is a family restaurant in Japan, which is a casual, cheap chain restaurant. They've got a collab with Pokémon until the 17th of June with themed menu items. There's this burger that's filled with cheese. Who said Japanese food was healthy? It comes in a foil packet that you open with a Pikachu tail, and there are small Pokémon gifts for each item you order. There's a new cafe in Tokyo Station. The Marunouchi side on the west side is the old historic building, and you can really immerse yourself in it in this new cafe. It's built inside a historic waiting room from the Taisho era, which is the 1910s to 20s, and it has a very classy retro look. Some of the dishes used to be served on dining cars on the trains, and the cakes look great. It's called Tokyo Station Cafe, the North Dome. Now, things in Tokyo Station can be tricky to find, but this one's not too bad. If you go in the north entrance on the Marunouchi side, that's the old building, it's just inside. Now, Sanrio Puroland isn't the only Sanrio theme park in Japan. There's also Sanrio Harmonyland down in Kyushu. They've just opened a new theme restaurant called Pom Pom Diner to celebrate Pom Pom Purin's 30th anniversary. As a designer specialising in cute stuff, I just love the look of this restaurant. And the food is so cute too. There's a Pom Pom Purin lunchbox. Of course, there's purin and themed curry. The only menu item I'm not sure about is this pudding shake. It comes in a plastic packet that you have to knead and shake to mix it up, which does look kind of disgusting, but everything else is super cute. It's open till the end of the year. Conveyor belt sushi chain Uobi Sushi also has a collab with Pom Pom Purin until the end of May. There's a branch of Uobi Sushi in Shibuya. Look how cute this Pom Pom Purin dessert is. And if you order one of the special menu items, you get a badge. Next is exhibition news. I'm going to do these quick fire and put the dates on the screen. There'll be a dinosaur expo in spring 2027 in Tokyo in Ueno. There's an exhibition called Super Dangerous Creatures in Tokyo about animals with deadly abilities. There's a Peach Pit exhibition in Osaka for the 25th anniversary of the manga studio, and there's also a theme cafe. Now, recently, in the comments on one of my Instagram reels, someone called the Suica penguin a knockoff Pingu. And Pingu is coming to Japan this summer in an exhibition called Not Just Cute. You can see models from the animation. There'll be a Dragon Quest exhibition in Harajuku for its 40th anniversary. There's a Ghibli Park exhibition in Osaka that includes an exhibition that was in the park about food in the films and why it always looks so delicious, which it really does. There'll also be statues and immersive scenes. The Ghibli Friday Roadshow exhibition that's been touring around Japan is going to Yamaguchi in West Japan. And finally, a couple of Godzilla exhibitions. Godzilla Expo is going to Niigata and then Fukuoka, with Godzilla suits, statues and dioramas from throughout its history. And the Godzilla the Art exhibition that was in Tokyo is moving to Kobe. If you're staying in Osaka, you can get there really quickly on the train. So that's it for Japan news this time. We've had a Pokémon footbath, a new boat trip in Tokyo, and a hotel with amazing views of the trains. I'll see you next week with new Japan videos every Thursday.